to be here, and thank you for even acknowledging your privilege and even the privilege of most of the presenters tonight. So I am just honored to be here, and I really appreciate the opportunity to voice for the voiceless and among all of us here on Mother Earth. So here's my book, and although tonight it's about true love, I'm going to, the way that Chad said, love is the way, I'm going to talk about the way of love. Love is kind. It does not delight in evil. It rejoices with the truth. So I took the liberty to truncate most of this Bible verse for me to have a meaningful conversation with you on the essential, love. As a family system researcher and practitioner, the way that Scott just mentioned, I am really interested in the way love or the truth manifests or rearrange itself within family or human interactions, connections, and organization as a whole, rather than focusing on individual members. Hence, I invite you to think big when I say love. Although I'll define what type of love works best in intimate relationships, keep in mind it's linked to our big, colorful family, the human race. The Bible and most of the world wisdom traditions have long agreed on this love map. Love is kind, it's not evil. It sounds so simple, right? But something got lost in translation. And the pioneer of strategic family therapy, Chloe Madanes, had to clarify for us again and again that love is compounded and humans are complex. We say we want love, yet people lie for love, hurt for love, die for love, and kill for love. In fact, before becoming a family researcher, published author, and international speaker, I was down in the trenches, fighting for love. From my mother's womb, I dodged knitting needles that almost bled me to death. I mean, I get it. No judgment here. She clung to a factory job to feed her 4 kids in the name of love. While my alcoholic father, who knew he had nothing to do with her, punched her like a sandbag for 19 years. My father would argue that his blows and injustice to my mother and violations to my baby body, mind, and spirit were actually all done in the name of love. No judgment here, but can you relate? This family experience is not unique to me, unfortunately. What's unique is our essence and the way each one of us access and process all of our experiences in life and give meaning to them. I gained so much appreciation for my own pain and trauma, for making me see the bigger picture in everything, especially in intimate relationships. To see what it is to be fully human and grasp my father's distortion of love, contrasting with my mother's exaltation of love. They reminded me of the beauty and the beast archetypes, when beauty, the light, transcends the darkness on the shadow side of the beast and reveals with compassionate love the goodness and qualities intrinsic to our human nature. This is the magic of the beauty or the light. Now is the time to ask science to stop mirroring back to us our darkest qualities and shed the light and on the truth, our divinity. Now is the time to stop polarizing love as a soft science and reclaim its high technology. Now is the time for us to accept these opposing facets of ourselves into our individual wholeness and integrate them to expand our collective consciousness and reclaim our individual sovereignty. As humans, we are wired to love. We are love. The energy of love is the energy of the now that sets the whole human system in motion with higher vibrations and greater intentions. Indeed, love is our internal disposition that shifts our external reality to set healthier boundaries for ourselves, but also for the greatest good of all. For millennia, our ancestors have gifted us a heart of compassionate love, knowing that the day will come for us to crack open the love codes and activate our deep DNA for humans' evolution and preservation against all evils. Ironically, compassionate love, which is defined by scientists as a type of love that centers on the good of the other, never made it to the public. Why would science bypass the world's most useful survival skill of the kindest with two of the highest human virtues to cultivate: compassion and unconditional love? I'm just saying. Perhaps this is a good time, guys. During a pandemic, when people are shifting their priorities, setting aside money and sex, recalibrate our relationships and our ideas of what love is. For centuries, science has emphasized the survival of the fittest in a world of competition, separation, and duality. And since everything is energy and every one of us is connected with everything, these divisions and conflicts have trickled down to us at the core of our beings. So from science to the public, no one has been able to really explain to us what's the root cause of the staggering statistics of disconnection that plague our relationships, or even less able to explain to us why opposites attract. So by a show of hands, I'm sure many believe that opposites attract, right? So some of us believe that our relationships are made of two halves that complete each other from a state of deficit instead of a state of abundance, hoping that the other will love us more than we love ourselves, right? We convince ourselves that two opposing electrical charges, one positive, one negative, attract each other like magnets in an energizer burning battery is pure love when it's actually pure physics. The good news is that in quantum love, each one of us is responsible for the quality of our energy that varies from a low to high frequency and greater influences our relationships and also impact the world. In some of the karmic relationships, just like in Beauty and Beast, she holds the mirror before her, the same way we hold the mirror for our partners and vice versa, to see the unknown chaos within ourselves and dissolve with love any pain from our core wounds of rejection, abandonment, humiliation, betrayal, or injustice on our spiritual path. Fortunately, the pandemic got us to realize that we can choose a different way of love. that behind statistics are real people, and beyond big data, there may be the real truth. Why would some researchers say that opposite attract is a sign of love when love has no opposites? Now, if opposite people don't attract true love, what does? The anthropologist Ellen Fisher and Match.com found in their latest 2020 study with 5,000 singles that in the current online dating world, during the pandemic, right now, guys, people engage in longer and more meaningful conversation with more honesty and transparency, and with less emphasis on physical attraction. That study also revealed that the longer couples court and the later they marry, perhaps, getting to see what they have in common, the more likely they are to stay together. But how can we maintain true love in good times, and especially now in challenging times? So I had to go for 7 years in depth back into the trenches, into people's homes, and see the relationship for my eyes and feel the energy of these couples. And I found 5 strategies that they share with me. All of these couples were from different socioeconomic backgrounds, different educational level, different professional status. And they all consider themselves to have resilient relationships and successful love stories. Here are the 5 strategies they share with me. Breaking the chains of generational curses is not being a statistic. It's to actually transmute negative relational patterns of violence, of rape, of scarcity, of poverty, of neglect into positive, massive action. Because it's one thing to think just being aware. It's not enough anymore. And what comes next is being equally yoked with our partners, is being on the same wavelength between our spirituality, mind, and sexuality. And when we achieve this triangle, which is the triad, the law of three, we become more in harmony with each other and with the world. Next is finding common grounds between partners. It's agreeing to disagree with unconditional love, praying together for each other, and putting family first. Not only our own personal family, but a bigger family, the human race. Loving beyond what is. When we see in our world of our partners and we create these monsters, we have to see beyond and see their essence and rise our vibration to stay focused on the bigger picture. Lastly, loving yourself first. It's what makes possible the 4 other strategies, and it shouldn't be a mission impossible. Love is kind. It does not delight in evil. It rejoices with the truth. Sarah, the alchemist, said, light is consciousness. Truth is consciousness. And consciousness is love. I say, love is the truth. And I challenge you today, tonight, or wherever you are in Australia, and maybe in Israel, anywhere in the world, I challenge you to adopt this truth as you pledge allegiance to the love evolution of all humanity. Thank you.
Thank you, Josie, and that's just beautiful.